The iPad can sometimes be a very awkward device to know what to use it for. If you have an iPhone and you have a Mac, the iPad is kind of like this awkward in-between device that can be more of a phone, it can be more of a laptop-like experience. So what actually do you use it for? So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all the ways in which I love to use my iPad and just overall all of the use cases that you can have for it so that you might get an idea of how you can use your iPad as well. Now, obviously, this is different for students. A lot of students who are using an iPad are using it for studying, note taking, all that. So if that's you, that's great. You probably already have a use case for iPad, but this is a lot more focused on people who aren't necessarily students that just want to use the iPad but don't really know how or where, what apps to use. So I'm first going to be covering all my accessories that I have for iPad because these play a large role in how I actually use my iPad. So the first accessory I'm going to be covering is a stylus. Now this can be either the Apple original Apple Pencil Pro, or it can be like a third-party stylus that you get. I know Logitech has one. I have this one from ESR, which is the ESR Geodigital Pencil, but I feel like you're not going to be able to get the most out of your iPad if you don't have a stylus, just because it has so many functions that kind of surrounds having a stylus. So this is definitely the number one accessory that I recommend if you're getting an iPad. Also, if majority of the time when you're using your iPad you're going to be using a stylus with it, then I highly recommend getting any paper feel screen protector. The one that I currently have on my iPad is the paper-like screen protector, which probably everyone has heard of, but you can get any brand paper feel screen protector. There are so many out there. Uppercase is a really great one. I know ESR also has a magnetic screen protector that gives you the paper feeling when you have it on, and you can easily take it off and store it if you don't need the paper feel texture. This is just really nice to mimic that pen to paper feeling, just to make your writing experience more smooth. And also, if you're going to be protecting your iPad, you definitely need to get a case. I have a few cases that I really love. One of my favorites is this Smart Folio from Pitaka. If you're looking for a more affordable option, Ilogo also has this amazing magnetic folio, which I use all the time. And also Moft has an amazing case which can fold in different angles and things depending on your use case. So those are just a few of my favorite cases. Now next up, if you want to have more of a laptop-like experience with your iPad, then obviously you can't go wrong with the Magic Keyboard case that you get from Apple. I don't have one currently just because I don't find myself using my iPad as a laptop all that much, so it's not really a worthy investment for me because it is quite expensive. But if you're looking for that laptop-like experience, Apple's keyboard cases are just really great, and they've made a lot of improvements for the newer models of iPad. So this is definitely the way to go. I've had their Magic Keyboard case on a previous model of iPad and absolutely loved it. So definitely go ahead and check that out if that's something that's worth it to you. How I mainly use my iPad as like a computer or laptop experience is just using my iPad stand. So this one is from Kushu. I believe that's how you pronounce their brand. This is just a really great stand if you want to prop up your iPad, and then I just pair that with any Bluetooth mouse and keyboard. I just have a lot of those lying around, so I just use this either when I'm trying to multitask with my laptop or just when I want to use the iPad solely as like a computer setup. This is just a really nice setup for me. So those are all the accessories that I want to cover. Now, before we get into how I use my iPad, I do want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Now, I've recently been trying to develop some skills in bettering my time management using Skillshare. Now, if you don't know what Skillshare is one of the largest online communities for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts, like classes on video editing, illustration, design, productivity. There's definitely something for everyone on Skillshare. Now, I've been a Skillshare user for years, and I have learned how to use apps like Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator just through Skillshare classes, and it's just helped me tremendously in developing skills that I use in my job every single day. Now, one thing I'm trying to be mindful of as we're almost entering into the second quarter of the year is to continuously grow and nurture my creativity. Obviously, at the beginning of the year, we set all these goals and things that we want to achieve, but by this point of the year, usually some of that motivation starts to taper off. And I'm just trying to keep that spark alive by just learning using Skillshare classes. So with that in mind, a class that I'm really excited to start is storytelling through film, how to create engaging videos for YouTube, so that I can just continue to improve my skills that I want to use every single day. So whether you are looking to develop a new skill or to just grow in your creative side, I highly recommend Skillshare. And thanks to Skillshare, the first 500 people to use the link in my description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this portion of today's video. video. Okay, so now let's get into how I actually use my iPad. Now, the first section of my use case for iPad is for any type of digital organization. Now, part of this is planning and note-taking, and an app I love for this is GoodNotes. I have a digital planner in GoodNotes in which I do my monthly planning. I can write daily to-do list, all of that, or I can just do any type of note-taking in GoodNotes. I just absolutely love this app. They have had some amazing updates released since the release of GoodNotes 6, so I just am continuously falling in love with this app, and yeah, I probably use this app every single day on my iPad. Another part of digital organization is doing any type of scheduling, and for that I love to use the Apple Calendar app and also the Reminders app. These two work really well together. So if I schedule a reminder in the Reminders app, it will also show up in my Calendar app, which is just really great. So I plan out any videos or sponsorship due dates or anything like that in the Calendar app, and then I use that when I'm going into my monthly planning or weekly planning. It's just a really easy way to just schedule in any events. Now, another app that I really love for any type of tracking and brainstorming is Notion. The entire UI of Notion on iPad is not the greatest, but I use Notion on all my devices and especially on my laptop a lot. But yeah, I have pages for like book tracking in Notion, and then the most used one is my page for any video tracking and sponsorship tracking. I have a database with all my videos on there, linking it to different sponsors and different types of content and when I'm posting what. So this is definitely where I organize most of my work-related life and just video ideas and things like that, and scripting videos. That all takes place in Notion. So this is definitely a great app if you're looking to do anything like that and anything more in depth. Notion is really just great for that. Now, I do use my iPad for work-related things as well, but that kind of follows into the creativity aspect just because that is mostly what my job is doing a lot of creative things. So apps that I love for that is like Canva, which is really great if you're doing any type of creating social graphics, you want to make a design real quick, just a quick like a little graphic. Canva is really just an amazing app for that. I also sometimes use Illustrator on my iPad using the Apple Pencil. It does sync to my Illustrator on my computer, so it just works really well if I quickly want to do like a hand-drawn effect in Illustrator. Is just really great for that. Other creative apps which are just amazing on iPad, which you've probably heard of, is like Procreate, which is great if you're doing any type of illustration, if you want to do lettering, just like any type of design. Procreate is an amazing app and it just has so many powerful features, so I highly recommend checking that out. Also, an app that I haven't played around with too much but I would love to get into more is Paper. It is an app that allows you to make like collages and things, and it just has a bunch of cool features to make your own little collages, and it looks like a little notebook. I just really love the overall look of this app. And another app which is kind of creative, but this is not at all related to work or anything, is a coloring app. This is just really nice for me when I'm trying to relax and maybe like watching a movie or something, just like a brain-free activity. I have this Disney coloring app on my iPad, which I just really like. And yeah, it's just really like a brain off activity to just like color in, and it's Disney characters, so this is just another creative app which I really like. Now, I really love to use focus modes on my Apple devices, so you saw that when I switched to work mode for all my work related apps. Now, another focus mode that I have on my iPad is reading, and the iPad can be a really great reading device. I don't use it all that much to actually sit and read because I do have a Kindle e-reader and a Books e-reader, so I just prefer to read on those. But if you are someone who is into reading, then the iPad can definitely be your e-reader of choice, and I think the iPad mini would also be a really great reading companion. But yeah, you do have the Kindle app on your iPad, and I really like to browse books on my iPad just because it's in color and it's just way easier to navigate pages on the Kindle app on iPad, and it's a really nice experience. So yeah, I have all my Kindle books on my iPad in the Kindle app. Another app that's really great on iPad is Libby, which allows you to link your library card to Libby, and then you can borrow ebooks, basically like you would at a library, but it's ebooks. And this is just really nice. It saves you money and you get to borrow books for free, which is really nice. And then also in the realm of reading, I also love to do reading journaling in my reading journal in GoodNotes. on iPad. It's just a really nice like scrapbooking like experience. I have a few sticker packs which I also released, which are bookish themed, and it's just a really nice overall like creative way to go about reading and reading journaling. So that is reading on iPad, but I also just like to use the iPad for other forms of entertainment, like watching a show, watching YouTube videos, browsing Pinterest. It's just a really comfortable experience with the screen size and all that. So yeah, I really love to use the iPad for any form of entertainment. I think it's a really nice device for that. And then another form of entertainment on iPad, which I haven't really delved into a lot, but I have been trying to get into it more, is gaming. Now, I'm not a hardcore gamer and I really can't spend too long of a time gaming at once, but there are a few games on iPad which I actually have really liked. So the first one is Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Now this is a really popular game that was released on Switch also and things like that, but it is on Apple Arcade. So if you have Apple Arcade, you basically get this game for free, and it's just a really popular game and it's really fun. You're running around on an island doing a bunch of quests and things, so highly recommend it. It's kind of similar to Animal Crossing if you're familiar with it. Another game which was also recently released, which I have been really enjoying, is Good Coffee, Great Coffee. Now there is a game called Good Pizza, Great Pizza. It's the same developers, but you're basically just running a coffee shop, making a bunch of different coffees for customers coming in. It's a really cute graphic style, and yeah, I just absolutely love it. It's a cute, cozy game, and it's just really fun and free. So highly recommend checking that out as well. Now this game might seem a bit boring compared to the games that I just mentioned, but I also have a crossword app called Crossword Master on my iPad. I have this on my phone as well, but sometimes I'm really just like in the mood for a crossword or something just a bit more mentally challenging. Not that this is a hard crossword app at all. This is probably like the most easy version of a crossword app that you would get, but I just really like it, and it's just a nice crossword app that you can also play on your iPad or iPhone, whatever you're using. So those are all the ways in which I use my iPad. I hope you could find something that you could use your iPad for. I'm sorry if I went through them really quickly. I just didn't want this video to drag on too long. I felt like the intro of all the accessories and everything was already pretty long. So yeah, I hope you got something out of this video, maybe an app suggestion. Let me know in the comments down below what you like to use your iPad for. If you have anything unique you want to share with each other, definitely leave those in the comments down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.